welcome to today's video. This is a continuation of the C# beginner series. In our last video, we looked at identifiers and reserved words. In case you didn't watch that, I encourage you to watch the previous video before continuing with this video. Thank you. Today, we will be looking at what statements in C# are. Statements are building blocks of code that perform specific actions or operations. So a statement represents a complete instruction or command that is executed sequentially by the program. So when it says sequentially in C#, the code runs from top to bottom. That is the sequence in which the code runs in C#. So C# statement can be simple or compound, and simply put, a simple statement performs just a single action, while a compound statement performs multiple statements. So a combination of many simple statements will form a compound statement, and usually it is denoted, or you know, a block of code or a compound statement. Most of the time you will see these curly brackets around it. So we have two types of statements. We have the assignment statement and the expression statements on a broad stem. These are types of statements which are used to assign a value or a variable, a value to a variable or a property. So in our previous video, we actually showed that. But so for example, when we do something like this, is an assignment statement. What you are trying to say is you are assigning, or you are putting the value 43 into, which is an integer, into a location or into this variable called value. Remember, again, variables, they are just like tags. They are not the actual data. So the actual data within that location is 43. So that is basically what an assignment statement is. It's just that you are just trying to say you are trying to put content into memory locations. So that is what we call assignment statements. An assignment statement consists of the target variable or property on the left side of the assignment operator, and the assignment operator is the equal to symbol. So that is what you saw here. So when you see anything like this, you see an equal to and you see a value here, it is going to be an assignment statement. So, and the value or expression on the right side. So when you find something is equal to something, that is usually an assignment statement. So an assignment statement are fundamental part of C# programming, which enable you to store and modify data dynamically, creating flexible and interactive applications. So for example, here we have 43. We can come again and say we do not want 43 in our value anymore. What we want there is 65. So what happens is that the content of this particular memory location that has the tag value, which is with this variable value, was 43 before, but now is 65. So assignment helps us to be able to modify, or even at the beginning here, it created or put in a value there. Remember, when we are talking about integers, we said the default value for integers is 0. So it means that if, let me take this out from here and let me just create int and say value. If I were to console it here and I put value, now you remember we have said that the code goes from the top to bottom. So but because it will not even allow that in C#, because you must give it a value. It's just a feature in C#, and that is all the more reason why C# is wonderful. You see, for example, now because we are trying to we have not put any value into this variable, it's telling us that it's not going to allow us to go, because it expects that we put something. Why did you create it if you will not put any item there? So for example, if I take this from here, and I cut that and I put that here, and I console log this, we see that what we have here, we'll be having we see that what we're having here is 43. But if I take this from here and I put it from to this place, we see that what we have there is going to be 65. So basically, our code goes from top to bottom, as we have said earlier. And this is an assignment statement. We are assigning 43 to this value here, and we are assigning again 65 to the same location. So when it goes to the location at this point, it sees that what is there is 65 and no more 43, and that is why you see it display 65. So those are the assignment statements. Expression statements, on the other hand, are used to evaluate or execute expression. So an expression represents a combination of operands, that is values, variables, or method calls, and operators that produce a resulting value. We'll be talking about operators in our next video, so that will be more clear. But just know that expression is just when you are trying to, is a combination of operands and operators. So an expression statement allows you to perform calculations, make comparison, call methods to control program flow and perform operations based on the evaluated results. Also, they are also integral parts of C#. Quickly, let me just show an example of what an expression will look like. So an expression could be like value is equals to, I want to add 50 to what the value. This is an expression, value plus 50. So we have two operands here. The first operand is value and the second operand is 50. This is, so let me just do this and say I want to console right line this. So if I'm doing this, this is actually an expression. In fact, writing console.write is actually itself an expression. It's a method call, but we will talk about that when we talk about methods and functions. So but for here, just know that this, for example, is an expression. We are having to sum whatever was in value with 50. And you know, when we run this, that's going to be 50 plus 65. That is going to be 115, I think. Let's run that and see. Yes, so you see it shows 115 as the sum of that. So this is an expression. So an assignment, in an assignment, you are putting in a value into the variable, but for expression, you are performing some operations. So maybe, for example, you are performing addition operation. There are other complex operations that can be performed, manipulation that can be done also. We'll be looking at some of them in the next video when we're talking about operators. So basically, we've looked at the expression statements and we've looked at assignment statement, and we know which is which because an expression statement deals with operands and operators, while in an assignment statement, we are talking about putting in a value into a variable location. I hope this was helpful. Also remember that our code runs from top to bottom sequentially, line by line. It is important we know that in C#, that is the way the code flows. I hope this was clear, and I hope that it was very explanatory. If we still have any question, we can drop a comment, and I'll be very glad to respond. Thank you. See you in the next video.